Well, hello there, welcome back to the channel. I've got a few more bits to whack on the 690 today, guys, and then I think it's going to be done. Just a few little bits and pieces, nothing major. I reckon this gear will just be the icing on the cake and there'll be nothing left to do on the big pumpkin. Just a quick disclaimer before we get started putting the stuff on the bike, guys. I know there's a number of people out there who are a bit skeptical about YouTubers and the stuff that they promote, and rightfully so a lot of the time too. You know, you can't trust what people say when they're getting paid to promote a product, but what I can tell you is this stuff from NICECNC I actually asked for myself. It's not crap that was randomly sent to me and to here, review this. I would have bought this stuff with my own money. However, the advantages of having a successful YouTube channel, you do get the opportunity to get this stuff for free, and you know, even if I had bought it myself, I'd still be making a video on it. So you know, at the end of the day, guys, I get nothing if you buy this stuff. I'm not trying to sell it to you, I'm just showing you, you know, that's the deal. I make a video on it, I get it for free. If you like it, go buy it. I can tell you right now, it's some of the best bang for buck that you're going to get with this sort of gear. As you know, I've dealt with NICECNC in the past. I've been more than happy with all their gear. I do actually have all the NICECNC stuff installed on the bike right now, but we're going to go back in time and back to the workshop and get it all on the bike. Anyway, what do we got today? We've got some foot pegs for the 690. I'll show you guys that in a minute. Foot peg pivot bolts. Pivot! They're going to be cool. Wait and see. Handlebar mounts with a slight rise. Now some of these are bling parts as well as being, you know, useful. We've got clutch and brake levers, shorties, and finally a Bling oil filler cap. Right, let's get into it. We'll start with the handlebar mounts first. I think it's hot in here, so bear with me, guys. Right. So the main reason I'm replacing this whole mess here is just to tidy it up a bit. These, of course, are the stock handlebar mounts here, and there are some Scott's risers jammed in there. These ones here are essentially the same as the stock mounts, just with a you know, a slight rise. I'm not sure exactly how much they are, but I'll put that up on the screen. 10mm socket to remove these. These particular ones look like about an 8mm Allen key, so we'll grab a tool for that. So yeah, as I've mentioned in previous videos, this bike did have a Scott's steering damper on it. That's why this particular riser is on here. But I don't need the steering damper, so getting rid of this mess. It's really just a bling thing, this, but you know, these style of risers are the tidiest sort of solution. Alright, these are 8mm as well. Whoa, that was tight. Blingy orange, yeah baby. So yeah, there you go, hopefully you can see the difference. These do come with all the bolts you need as well, so you don't need anything extra. You don't need to use any of the bolts from the old mounts. And of course with the 690 you do have two mounting points here, and you can also spin these around to whichever way you want, whether you want the bars closer towards you. Not sure which way I'm going to go with mine yet, but yeah, I'll work that out. Considering that you are raising the bars up, which does bring them back towards you, it's probably a good idea to put, you know, to mount them as far forward as you can to compensate for that. But yeah, that's going to be down to personal preference. As with everything, thread lock, thread lock, thread lock. Alright, that's the handlebar mounts mounted. We'll just whip the handlebars back on now. Pop these caps on. We will of course thread lock these bolts as well. Now of course you want to center your bars as best you can, and preferably line them up to roughly where they were before. I think mine were pretty much on the 0 mark in the center. So yeah, as long as they're centered this way and at the right angle, It should be right. Yeah, you don't have to get blingy orange ones, guys. These do come in, I think, black, blue, and silver as well. So you got a bit of a choice there. But, you know, being a KTM, you've got to go the orange, don't you? Anyway, there you go, guys. They're installed. Look good. Do the job. You know, a little bit of rise there. I think they'll be perfect. All right, let's go on to the brake and clutch levers. Yeah, all their stuff, guys, is of course CNC machined out of billet aluminium. It's really good stuff. I actually cut this one off and accidentally cut it a bit short, so yeah, it's a bit of a pain. But this one's good. It's a shorty lever, but you've also got that little tab on the end to stop your fingers slipping off. Alright, so we do need to use this adjuster here out of the stock lever, so I'll go ahead and take the stock one off. It's an 8mm nut on the bottom there, and of course you need a Torx bit for the top. Okay, so I think we need to pull out this sleeve. Once that sleeve's out, then this piece should come out. We've got a spring there, and we also need that adjuster there. Alright, so these are the parts we need from the old lever: the sleeve, the actuator thingy, the pin, and this adjuster. Okay, so something I did not know is you have to push or punch out this. There's a pin that runs through here that you need to push out before you can unscrew the adjuster all the way. There you can see there it's coming out. So now we should be able to remove the adjuster and thread it into the new lever. And then we just need to punch that pin back in. Done. Now to refit the actuator to the lever, I need to make sure that that spring is compressed a little bit there, so that it can get in there. So the spring needs to rest on here, if you can see that. And I just need to line the hole up and slip that sleeve in. Okay, there you go, guys. Spring loaded lever. It's all assembled. So when we refit the lever, this this little cup here needs to sit and seal. Actually, this rubber part needs to fit over the lip of this part here. In the past, when I've refitted the lever and just basically pushed it in there, actuated the clutch, it's reseated itself on there. So hopefully that's what's going to happen today. Very easy to fit these hydraulic levers. Just pop the pin in. So just refitting the nut to the bottom, of course, and tightening that up. Alright, so hopefully you can see there the little rubber seal is now back on. It took a little bit of fiddling this time, but we're all good. Beautiful. No play in that clutch lever. Smooth as. Hopefully you can see there, I've got 2 fingers. Lovely. Alright, onto the brake lever. Alright, brake lever is, well, I'm assuming it's going to be super simple, although we do need a 19mm socket, ridiculously large, to remove the nut on the bottom there to take this guy off. But yeah, it's that big one there. And we just pop the pin out. Sorry if you can't see what I'm doing here, but I'm sure you get the idea. The only thing you want to be careful of here is the brake light switch. So just make sure that doesn't go anywhere. There's nothing we need to keep off the old lever this time apart from the pin, of course, and the nut. We need to just put this in and make sure that the pin goes into the socket as before. We also need to make sure our brake light switch is in place. Probably a good idea to double check that your brake light is working, that you've put the little switch in the right spot again. But you can normally hear that little switch clicking when you touch the brake. Right, it's the brake lever installed. 2-finger brake lever, beautiful. As with most NICECNC stuff I've seen so far, the fit and finish is spot on. Alright, a nice quick easy one before we get on to the foot pegs. This is obviously the Bling oil filler cap. Now the main reason I got this was this one's sort of seeping a bit. I don't have to seal stuff or whatever, but I thought, hey, if I've got to get a new cap, might as well get a fancy one. But yeah, this the NICECNC one comes with an O-ring already on it, so I'll just whack a little bit of that oil there on the O-ring. So yeah, we do need a 13mm spanner or socket for this one. That's okay, I use a tool generally to tighten up those stock ones. I generally whack some pliers on just to make sure it's tight enough. So grabbing a 13mm, it's just as easy as grabbing a pair of pliers. Alright, foot pegs. Right, these are essentially the same foot pegs as what I have, the same NICECNC foot pegs as what I have on the T7, and they've been fine on the T7. They kind of look like they shouldn't be strong, but they're standing up pretty well on the T7, so I thought I'd chuck some on the 690 as well. So yeah, they're pretty much the same size, really nice and wide, super lightweight and low profile. You can't really get mud stuck in there, and orange, more bling. And you do get a few spare studs. Now I did check on the T7, all of these were thread lock, so that's really cool. So I'm hoping that these are the same. There's no reason to think they won't be, so I should be able to whack those straight on. Now the keen observers will notice that these are pivot pegs. I'm sorry, Mr. Jeff Howes, but I am just not a fan of the pivot pegs. They're okay, but I prefer a stable, flat platform. I'm sorry, man. Pivots are not for me. Pivot! Of course, everybody's different. No judgment here. If you like pivot pegs, that's fine. So yeah, they're roughly the same size as the pivots. These do have the extensions welded on. Pretty much the same that way as well. Now, if you've watched this channel for a while, you may be familiar with a few of my pet hates, and these split pins are one of my biggest pet hates, and that is why I'm replacing those stock pins with these bad boys. Got a flat screwdriver thingy on the end, and on the other end you've just got a nylock nut. Couldn't be easier. I don't know why they still use this bullshit. But I'm switching to these. It's going to be so much easier. Not that you take foot pegs on and off all the time, but when you do need to, yeah, and you got to battle with these stupid things, no more. Right, let's get those off once and for all. Oh look, these ones are piss weak. Awesome. Yep, I still hate them. Oh, alright. Goodbye, you piece of shit, forever. Now, I'm not sure if I can use these particular springs with the new pegs. No, they're a different style. That's okay, I have the stock foot peg springs. Alright, let's crack open these bad boys. There you go, ingenious. In bloody genius. Perfect fit, of course. So I do believe that just sits in there like that. I did see somebody zip tie these together. I might try that actually. I'll just quickly show you guys my method for getting these springs in. So these are just some clamp things. You may not have these at home, I don't know, but yeah, whack that in there like so. Now we just pop that side in the vise. You can pop that off. Then you've got clear access to the top of those hook things on the spring. The zip tie over. Done. And your spring's ready to go in. Not gonna lie guys, I think these springs are probably just about worse than the freaking split pins. I do like a nice strong spring. My foot peg, you know, like floppy ones. The T7 ones are really sloppy. These are nice strong springs, but they could have made them a bit easier to get in there. Anyway, that's in. Now we can cut off this zip tie. Oh, beautiful. Work on a nut. So these ones are 13mm as well. You don't have to over tighten those. Of course they are, you know, nylock nuts. They're not going to come undone. But even with that nipped up quite tight there, still, you know, it's not going to compress that bracket enough to cause any friction on the foot peg movement. So yeah. Anyway, I'm sure you guys don't want to see me do the other side, so I'll go ahead and do that. And of course, good excuse to take the bike out for a ride and do a bit of a road test on all this stuff. Cool. Okay, so through the magic of YouTube time travel, we are back out in the bush again with the NICECNC stuff on the bike. I've got to say, you know, the foot pegs, they do what foot pegs do. They're perfectly wide enough. They're fine. Very comfortable to stand up on the bike. The handlebar mounts are there. They haven't snapped off. The bars are actually at a nice height for me. I can't notice that much difference. I know they are a little bit, like these are taller than your stock handlebar mounts obviously, but they're a little bit, my bars are actually a little bit lower now than what they were with the Scott's risers that I had on before, but they're actually more further forward too, which I like. Get this bloody phone out the way, you can see it. Oh, the oil cap here, it's fine, it's doing its job, no dramas. The foot peg pins, perfect. Oh, I nearly forgot, the freaking levers, man, these are awesome. Damn mirrors in the way. I can get 2 fingers on that, pull that clutch in, and it doesn't come anywhere near whacking on my other 2 fingers. So that's exactly what I want. You know, there's a little bit of you know, they've got some sort of texture on there that gives you a little bit of grip, which is cool. I've managed to adjust this to exactly where I like it. The brake lever, perfect. I mean, yeah, it just feels really good. It feels way better than stock. I haven't adjusted the little bolts on there at all. It's pretty sweet where it is. So yeah, loving those levers, guys. They are really good. And I'm not just saying that, like, I'm honestly, yeah, I mean, you're one of those people that likes short levers, or you like the long levers. I can't stand those long levers where you pull the clutch in and the rest of the levers smashing your fingers all day long. You know, I like to be able to pull that clutch all the way into the handlebars. So, you know, if you've got that clutch fully disengaged like that, it's so much easier to get the bike in neutral. It's better for your gear changes and everything, and yeah. Anyway, blah blah blah. They're good levers, guys, and well priced. And I think the clutch only comes in black, if I recall correctly, but the brake lever you can get in the usual colours. I've got both black. Anyway, let's go. So yeah, as I mentioned, I wasn't a big fan of the pivot pegs, the pivot foot pegs. They worked. They did the job. They weren't overly annoying, but I just prefer a solid platform to stand on. Yeah, old mate Jeff Howes. There's so many Jeffs that comment on my videos, so I've got to be careful and make sure I don't say the wrong one. But he's a big fan of the pivot pegs, and he's also a big fan of Recluse automatic clutches. So, you know, what does that tell you? Just kidding, Jeff, mate. Whatever blows your hair back, man. Oi. Yeah, it's pretty wet out here at the moment. little hard to tell how deep that water is there, but in the interest of keeping my boots dry, I'll take that little chicken track. I can't get over how nice this clutch is, guys, this nice CNC clutch. It's perfect. There's no other way to describe it. The gearbox on this bike, however, not so much. Yeah, there you go, guys. Links will be down in the description for all this stuff. Thanks again for watching. Catch us on the next video.